got it, but let's buy some land and build a family. That's a grown-up flex. Let's see a black man winning and get so upset. This is generational, inspirational, integrative though. On the rise vertically, working like I ain't made it though. This is for my people. Locker room speeches. Listen while I'm teaching. Nails trying like a Kias. Stole it like I'm Jesus and brought it back like a re-up. Had to demonstrate the blessing for people who couldn't see it. Now we building assets before we splurge our cash. We was talking about the dream, dog. We heard y'all laugh. Now they talking about the team and I heard y'all last. I could never take the credit. I prefer all cash. Look, laughing at the crib cause I done turned into a bank. Probably turned into a mogul before I turned into a saint. Was just a man on his grind, then I turned it into great. Turn my struggle into hustle and you know I'm getting paid. Let's go.
What is going on, family? This is Dr. J. Taylor Jacobs with the Private Bank Society. Y'all know I'm with the crew. I'm with Nick.
What it do?
I'm with Iggy.
What's happening?
I'm with Mogul. He irritating. But listen, today we calling me Hoodie Jake. Not Dr. Jake, Hoodie Jake, because I'm sneaking in all of the facts today. And usually when it comes to the show, we talk about a few things. We try to make business, finance, and investing really cool. Because the concept of private banking is to be able to insulate yourself in such a way that you don't need any other outside factors to be able to create the life that you want. So when we talk about the show, we talk about hot topics. We talk about things that's going on. We talk about would Iggy or would Jake or would Nick do this to give you all of the stuff that you need to be great. So listen, what we got, Mogul.
So today we're going to start off with our word of the day. It is esoteric. It's an adjective meaning understood by only a select few. The literary critics spent extra time debating the more esoteric themes of the novel.
My mind is esoteric.
Go to Nick and Iggy.
My mind is esoteric. Only a select few can understand what's going on up here.
Oh dear.
Shout out to y'all.
Shout out to the select few.
Yeah.
I think just being esoteric is, you need to be esoteric to understand what being esoteric means.
Nice.
I'm not esoteric at all. No one knows me. I am Hoodie Jake.
All right, we're going to go into our hot topic of the day, which is a lot of businesses are suffering due to the tech vendors' price increases. So today we're just going to talk about basically the recent price increases for tech vendors and how it's affecting the CIOs all over the world. As you may be aware, software and hardware vendors have been steadily increasing their prices over the recent years. And the trends appear to be continuing through 2023 to 2024. As a CIO, this can be and present a significant challenge, especially if you're working with a tight budget. So what can you do to navigate these price hikes? What is what we'll be discussing today. When it comes to like price hikes on different vendors and things that we've had to use, how do you guys feel that we can give them, I guess, some much needed advice on working on a budget?
Come to backend.io. I don't have no advice, Mogul. I'm glad that they're dealing with financial issues because for our tech companies and our tech products, that means that
We can service you like no other.
That's right. We can service you because the purpose of our technology is to provide important enterprise software to startup entrepreneurs, specifically in the Black and brown communities, that will allow for them to be able to facilitate and run their businesses at a fraction of the cost. And so I'm really not feeling any type of way. I feel like a lot of their tech products were either overpriced or terribly underpriced, simply because they were getting funding and financing, and because the investors are starting to get wiser when they come to invest in the technology. They're no longer, there's enough data to no longer have to guess and invest in something that could potentially pop off. Now you can ask specific questions to actually understand and see the value of the technology and be able to know what the MRR is, what the COG is, what the COC is, all of that stuff that's needed. Now you can actually make a legitimate investment thesis. But when it comes to what the investment world was before, when it came to technology, the investment world, it was a bunch of guessing. And so they got to play the throw money at a problem thing. And they drove prices down and created these freemium models that people like us couldn't be able to do because we need users on our technology. So I really don't care about them. Go to backend.io or pocketbookkeeper.com if you want to get access to an automated marketing software technology to run your business on with websites, drag and drop and everything. And to keep the books, your financials, go to pocketbookkeeper.com. I don't know what y'all got to say, but I don't have no remorse for them.
No, I second that.
All right. Okay. So when it comes to, I guess, some of the technologies that we do have, how would you guys say they are beneficial to businesses? Like, why are they so essential, I would say, rather than some of these other little technologies that they've been using?
Iggy?
Go ahead, Nick. I'm just talking. So, one day, for the most part, they're simple and easy to use. Like the average person can be onboarded onto these technologies and be able to move forward with like little to no experience whatsoever. Second thing is they are technologies that allow you to automate the business that you do have, allow you to keep track of your analytics, whether that be from backend IO, the analytics of the performance of your business, how the funnels are performing, how your websites are performing, keeping track of the people who are interested in getting more information, keep up with the names, emails, being able to tag them and automate this process so that your business is more hands-off from the aspect of like the tedious stuff. There's a lot of aspects of business that you have to be able to implement and learn, and it's good to be able to have processes that are automated, and that's what we are able to do from your business aspect with Backend IO. When we talk about Pocket Bookkeeper, we're talking about being able to automate the process of keeping track of your finances, understanding your profit and loss, understanding what taxes you need to pay when it comes to your business, how much money's coming in, how much money's going out, being able to itemize what money's coming in, what money's going out, so that you can understand the performance and the health financially of your business and not need to be some super CPA accountant graduate of Stanford University, that whatever the case may be, and really good with bookkeeping. This technology, Pocket Bookkeeper, automates that process. So being able to, the ease of use and the simplicity of being able to onboard and not need to be a super expert understanding technology to utilize them, and the aspects of them automating your business and or your finances so that you can focus on what it is you like to do and growing your business, providing service to your customers, innovating your products, developing those products out, developing partnerships, right? Acquiring businesses, acquiring other technology for your business. You can focus on what it is you like to do and let the technologies handle what they're supposed to handle. So that's what I would say about our technologies, bro.
Okay. Dr. Jake?
I second that.
Okay. So I'm going to go into our next segment, which is Straight Facts. This one is a little interesting to me, actually. Let's reset. So a lot of banks and other corporate giants hire these things called white hats, which are good hackers to help fix security issues with system infiltrations. Basically, they are hiring people to hack and beat up their system as much as they can, so they can see where they're vulnerable, who can potentially get into their system. I think when I was in high school, PlayStation had got hacked. They probably would have been good if they used these white hats, because it was high school kids that hacked it, the system. So how do you guys feel about like cybersecurity? What are some things that we as a company have put in place for our technologies that can help with cybersecurity, make sure people's stuff is secure when they use our technologies?
Go ahead, Doc.
One of the biggest things that we do for our technologies are that we have probably some of the best cybersecurity specialists in the world. and we have an international development team. So our international development team does a really good job of ensuring the protection of our not employees, our clients and customers that utilize our software. And we try to stay ahead of the game when it comes to that. So our technology is one of the safest places to be able to build your business, run your financials, and even the financial information is encrypted from us. So the only people that can actually be able to see the information is the onboard and the user.
Awesome. This reminds me of like when we say doing beta testing in business. Like you give it to a small group of people, let them beat it up as much as they possibly can, find all the holes, and then give it back to you so you can fix those. And does that kind of go along? That sound about right?
Say the question again. I'm sorry.
I was saying this kind of reminds me of like when we sang in one of our pod classes about beta testing, when we basically give it to a small group of people that we know, like us, whatever, have them beat it up as much as possible, run it through the mud, try to figure out any and every way to kind of mess up what's going on or the product that we have. Then we go back and fix those kinks, get those kinks out of there, and then we launch it again to kind of see, have we fixed it, has anything improved, and we can go back again and bring it back out for our final launch. That kind of sounds like the same type of white hack type thing. Is that kind of?
Yeah, I think that when it comes to anything, any product, especially when it comes to beta testing, we should always be in beta mode. Never get too comfortable with your product after you launch it as if it's ever going to be fully done. I think committing to beta mode and understanding that staying in beta mode is the most probable way for your business to stay afloat and the product to stay competitive in the marketplace, specifically if you're talking about technology, because in the tech world, y'all listen, it's ever growing, ever changing, ever moving. So you got to be able to compete at the highest level. And if you want to have a chance, that means that you probably should be testing your product with new oncoming people onto the platform, because the people that get trained on your software first are typically the ones that stay the longest. So that's also going to mean that you're always going to be in that beta phase where you're trying to onboard people at price points and deals that allow for them to actually get to know your technology long term.
Never, ever, ever, never stop testing. Ever. The market is going to continue changing. The people are going to continue changing. People's needs, people's behaviors are going to continue changing. The need for people in the marketplace is going to continue changing. So you're going to continue to need to innovate your product, innovate your service, innovate your approach, innovate your marketing, innovate your brand. And in order to keep up with that innovation, you're going to have to continue testing, because it may be one way today and one way tomorrow. And like Dr. Jake said, technology is ever evolving and is moving in a very, very, very rapid pace. A very rapid pace. Just over the past 6 months, we've seen a drastic growth and hyper influx when it comes to technology, specifically when it comes to AI. So if you are not innovating, if you are not continuously in test mode, if you're not continuously figuring out new ways to approach your customers, new ways to market to them, new ways to improve your product, and new ways to improve your brand, your color schemes, your messaging, all of the above and more, you're going to find yourself, you're going to find your business left behind, because there are people out there who are on the evergreen of innovation, on the evergreen of testing, to figure out what is the best way that I can continue to communicate and continue to deliver the best product and service to the right consumers. So again, never, ever, ever, never stop testing.
I agree. It's just like in everyday life, right? If you're not growing, you're doing the opposite. You're dying.
Right.
My mentor
that's
you know what I'm saying? If you're not growing, you're dying. So
Yes.
that goes for your business too, and anything that has to do with your business is going to forever change. Nothing stays the same forever. First off, if it did stay the same forever, it wouldn't be fun at all. Like, we wouldn't be creating and evolving as human beings. So definitely roll with the changes, learn new ways to protect yourself, and know that there's always going to be somebody out there trying to disrupt that. You know what I'm saying? So you always have to be 10 steps ahead. I agree.
Yes.
Nice. So we are going to go into our next segment. Is one of you guys' favorite segments, which is Dr. Jake's business analysis of the day. Let's see what he has to say today.
All righty, let's see what the business analysis of the day is. Today,
Y'all, we have Hoodie Jake, so please excuse.
Yeah. Today is Hoodie Jake. You know, today is the cool, chill, collected Jake. You know, it's chilly outside. First of all, Chandler, can I tell them or no?
Yeah, we got great news.
Listen, y'all.
No. Can we,
It's just a
Can we
meeting.
get past the first point, the next point first? Please.
Is it gonna seem like we thirsty or something?
It's gonna
No.
seem, it's gonna seem
Like we arrogant or
premature.
something?
No,
Premature?
Yes.
no,
You don't think so?
it's a good email.
It's a good email.
Okay.
Can I read the email?
Yeah. Or you can summarize it.
I'm gonna summarize it. We pretty much got reached out from who?
Shark Tank.
No, not Shark Tank. It was a guy who was
Kevin.
Not O'Leary.
His assistant. Kevin's assistant.
Kevin what? Harrington? Yes. Kevin Harrington, one of the original Shark Tank folk, his people reached out to us. Now, as Iggy said, they want to know more about the company. Their executives have told Kevin and their media team about us and that they needed to meet us and get to know what we do. And as Iggy said, we got to have the meeting, interview, and see kind of, more what they're talking about. But to be able to be recognized, right, though, y'all?
Mm-hmm.
Iggy, right? To even be able to be recognized was...
That's major.
Thank you.
That's major.
Thank you.
Let's go. That's major.
That
shit.
lets me know that we're on the right track. We're doing the right thing. And recognition to me is the most important first. Iggy doesn't like to put the horse before the cart. So I'm not excited, Iggy. I'm just expressing to them that when you do the right thing and you do the work, at least you start to get recognized by the right circle.
We can. I'm okay with expressing recognition. Some stuff we got to keep close to the chest until we able to execute it, and that's my thing.
I think that everything we do is very close to the chest. Okay, these guys are very
based on everything
Chest
we
close.
got. It's some.
You
stuff
know that
we
y'all
got
always
to.
say that I'm very modest. Okay, well, deep down inside, y'all are very modest.
Probably
too.
why we can recognize your modesty.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Well, I'm
so
just saying.
I'm 100% for recognition, but I'm also 100% aware of reality. And the truth is, like, we absolutely have the recognition, but we even need clarity on what that recognition needs even about.
Well, that's true.
So I felt like it was premature to express.
Oh, no.
what that was.
I don't think so, because I think that, like, it's okay even if nothing ever turns out about it, right? Like, it's still something that makes you feel good and shows you that you're in the right direction. So if anything, it gives you that boost of motivation that some people don't even get because they don't even start. So they don't even get seen by the right people.
Yeah.
And so what Iggy is saying is very much so true, but in a different perspective. It's something to be celebrated, especially for people who are just getting started and they just wish for one email from somebody to recognize what they're doing. If somebody recognizes you, that's a celebration in itself. So celebrate the entire process and don't listen to Iggy.
Don't listen to me.
Well, I'll say this.
That's the marketing team and the creative team. That's the difference. It's literally that
That's
way.
true. No, that's true.
It's literally that way.
This is the difference between marketing and creative.
Exactly.
Because
so you need both.
Iggy's about acquisition. Like, what's
Absolutely.
the acquisition? And creative is about recognition. We need recognition to get acquisition. And so you can't get acquisition without recognition. I think that's a cool thing. And to be honest with y'all, I've been in kind of funk. I've been in kind of a funk. And I think the best part about it It's Iggy. It's not the. Oh, y'all keep saying Iggy.
Because you at me for
just
some
be
reason.
just be proud of me, okay?
You at me for some reason. What
Since y'all
bro,
walked in.
we
Since you
beefing,
want to
bro?
say something,
We beefing, bro.
so what I will say is this: I've been in a funk. Y'all know why I've been in a funk. And God just has been sending little reminders. Like, and I know y'all think that business is about being on point all the time, but you have spells when it's just like, yo, like, God, you beefing with me? Do we got an
Right.
issue? Is there something you want to get off your chest, Lord? Because I would much rather get a direct response. Just tell me versus me having to figure out through trials and tribulations.
Yeah, come on.
But what I will say is this. I used to be someone who didn't appreciate or even celebrate or recognize recognition or being thought of. And my biggest celebration about Kevin Harrington, and they made sure they told us that he was with Shark Tank and all of that other stuff. Matter of fact, how much he got? Let's see. Kevin Harrington net worth. You know this thing be lying, but we can get close to it. 400 million. Guy who's worth 400 million, his team is looking at us.
Yeah.
And this is what he said. He said the assistant said, "We reached out to you last year." Was it last year? She said, "We reached out to you before. We don't know why you didn't answer."
Yeah.
But we're reaching out to you again to let you know, hey, listen, we're interested in who you are, what your company does, and we want to find out more about you because we keep hearing about you.
Yeah.
And
We in the loop.
we're in the loop. And we're in the loop. Somebody on that team know a little bit of something about what we got going. And whoever's on that team, if you ever watch this video, I just want to say thank you. Iggy is actually one of the most loving people that you'll ever meet. You know, we're just in a phase to where people lie all the time. And so he just try to protect his feelings.
No, for real.
But I want to talk to you all today about the several different types of entrepreneurs. I think that it's important for us to kind of talk. No, actually, I don't. I want to talk about the several signs that you may need to realize when you're not ready for business. Yeah, I don't want to talk about the different types of entrepreneurs. I'll do that like a couple of reels and all that other stuff. But I want to talk about the 5 signs that you need to recognize that you're not ready for entrepreneurship. And contrary to popular belief, lack of financial stability is the number one. If you do not have a stable financial situation, you may not be ready to buy a business or even start a business, because the process of even starting a business or buying a company is very grueling. And I would tell y'all something. All of us kind of jumped off the bridge, right? You jumped off the bridge. You jumped off the bridge. And when I tell y'all, my first 2.5 years was probably one of the most painstakingly hardest years of my life. What about you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The very beginning.
Would you agree?
Yes.
What about you?
Shit's still hard.
Right.
It ain't never let up. But what I will say is it's even worse and it's even harder when you don't have the skill sets though. And I can be honest with y'all, I didn't spend so much time running my business that I couldn't have had a job to pay the bills. Like when you really think about the time that you actually spent really doing the business when you first got started, 9 times out of 10, you didn't even know what to do.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you waste time doing stuff just to act like you're busy, but you really only work like 3 hours that day. So you really could have worked the full 9 to 5 and still been good. So what was your experience with that? And do you agree that starting a business with a lack of financial stability can kind of like
Set you back?
set you back?
Yeah, it definitely can. I mean, when I started, I was still full time at my 9 to 5. You know, I worked all the time. Actually, I was a general manager, and I was just burnt out. I missed so many opportunities. So the beginning is really, really, really rough, actually. And I feel like you said, it doesn't light up. You know what I mean? If anything, the pressure becomes worse. But like in between that time period, like if you're not getting educated, you're just gonna set yourself back even further. So learn as you go, but don't put yourself in that financial bind to where you're like, shooting yourself in the foot because you started too soon. Now you have to go back when you already had something, and you could just be doing that. When we were in network marketing, they called that we had a 9 to 5, and then we had an 8 to faint. 8 to faint was you work at 8 o'clock until you can't work no more, and then you get up for your other job the next day. You know what I mean? So consider your entrepreneurship your 8 to faint.
I want to actually hear a mogul. What are your thoughts about that? Because I know you're a risk taker for sure. We all are risk takers, actually. But if I were to do something a little bit differently, I would have checked my ego to the side, and I probably would have stayed teaching, and then really make sure I mastered my skill set of business. What about you, mogul?
So, mine was a little weird. I had a full-time job. I was actually in the process of becoming the director of media for a really large security company. Their whole shindig, I set up all of it. You know, they had all the money, but they sucked at social media. So I kind of got them on social media. I helped them with everything. And then when someone else got the recognition for doing absolutely nothing, I was like, I can't do this. I'm not going to be working for y'all because, I couldn't do it. And when I was at that time, I was following somebody that both of you guys used to work with. He said, get on camera for 30, I think, every day for 30 days. And I was doing that. So I was there making videos, basically telling people to follow their dreams. And somebody found that video, sent it to the owner. The owner had sat me down. Was like, well, you can't say these things because you're going to make people want to leave the job. I was like, I'm going to keep saying it. He said, well, either say it or get fired. And I walked out. So
would you consider that you got fired, or would you consider that you quit? Because it sounds like in that place in time, y'all were like mutually in that.
I would say I quit because they definitely wanted me to stay and continue to give them all that game I was giving them and showing them how to work on social media and all that stuff. I literally changed their whole experience, got them a whole new vibe on social media. And to this day, the dude that they gave the credit to still hits me up. I'm like, bro, forget you. You knew what it was. But anyway, from there, I tried to go to another job, and it just fell through, and my lease was up, and I was like, okay, I need something to do. I gotta go. I literally had to move home from Oklahoma within 3 days. So I just packed up all the stuff I could and got in my car and left. I left all my stuff that I couldn't take with me. And I sat here for about a month, just wondering what was I going to do. Luckily, my mom.
What do you do when you're done all you can, and it feels like it's never enough?
And luckily, my mom was, gracious enough to let me live at the house while they were still in California.
Come on, gracious,
and figure it out. And I said, let me try this photography stuff. I had no real bills at the time. I didn't have kids at the time either. So, I didn't have any responsibilities, but to be able to feed myself. So I jumped in and was able to study. I literally shot with my camera for 8 hours a day for 365 days straight, which gave me the skill set to be able to do what I do now. So my situation was a little different than most people's. A lot of people, when they jump out, they jump out and they have nothing. I jumped out and at least didn't have no bills, which gave me, like I said, the opportunity to learn what I was going to do and learn how to become one of the best at what I do. But I feel like if it was a different situation where I did have bills, I would have found a real quick job, real quick, immediately. So I do believe being financially stable or having a source of income that can, satisfy your bills at the minimum is going to be one of the most important things, because it's stressful. Even when you do have that money, it's stressful as hell. Every day it's like, is something else coming in? Is something else coming in? Where can I find something else? Can I do this? I need to find something else to come in. Because we are now, as a father, and having bills and having things that I owe, not having money we already know. You already wrote it in one of your books. Is one of the number one way to kill that kills people that look like me and you.
So did you get fired or did you quit? What would you rectify that?
I say I quit because I got up and left. I just didn't go back.
But he gave you an ultimatum. So
Yeah, he gave me a choice. Which when someone gives you a choice, usually they want you to take the choice that benefits them the most. Which would in that case would have been me staying.
Number 2, the second sign that to indicate that you're not ready to buy a business or, fully partake in entrepreneurship is the lack of industry experience. If you are not familiar with the industry in which the business operates, it may be difficult for you to make informed decisions about the business. Lack of knowledge about the industry can lead to costly mistakes and make it challenging to manage the business effectively. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. This is absolutely freaking true. When you get into an industry you know nothing about, trying to build a business to sustain not only yourself but also your future, and you have no guidance, no mentorship, no guide, no nothing, y'all, that is absolutely crazy. And I see so many people make the same mistakes. And the problem is, it's because entrepreneurs that made it or that perceive to have made it give this whole thing like, I wouldn't regret nothing. Everything I did was great. But let me tell you something. A lot of us go through trauma and hard times when we don't have to. It's like my great grandparents went through slavery. And they like, listen, I went through slavery, but I wouldn't take it back because it got us to where we are today. And then you decide to go through slavery because you think that is the thing that you should be doing because it made that person stronger. And I think that we need to do a better job at learning from other people's experiences and hearing them say, if they're going to tell the truth, it took me 5, 10, 16 years to actually pop. Why? The number 2 reasons why people don't pop in entrepreneurship and why they always say it took me a long time before I popped is because of lack of financial stability and lack of industry expertise. Period. The number one thing is lack of industry expertise. So let me hear what y'all got to say, Iggy and Nick, about my second sign to indicate when someone's not ready to buy a business or go into entrepreneurship because of their lack of industry experience.
If you don't have the industry experience, it's just gonna be tough for you off the rip because there are certain nuances and certain relationships and certain experiences that you have to have in order to know how to move, in order to deal with certain mishaps. So I agree with you, bro, as far as absolutely needing that because it's tough out here. There's certain things that no matter how much you prepare that you just can't prepare for. No matter how much work you do, how much personal development you do, how many mentors you have, how much reading you have, there's so much that can just happen, especially with the nuances of the marketplace, of what's going on that may not have happened before, that nobody has experienced before. Mm-hmm. So having as much experience and have as much know-how about an industry to be able to move forward is your biggest benefit when it comes to acquiring, because you're taking on a whole new responsibility and you need some type of know-how, you need some type of gumption and experience to be able to move forward in that aspect. So I absolutely agree.
Mm-hmm. Same. Like, you'll get outworked if you don't. You know
Yes.
what I mean? There's always going to be somebody that's going to that is going to go hard at exactly what you're trying to do. You know, so you have to put yourself in place to be open to learning these new things and doing the extra research, going the extra mile, losing one more hour of sleep. You know, that's what entrepreneurship is all about. So yeah, get educated, do the legwork, because if not, you'll fall short. You know, again, if you're not growing, you're dying.
Moga, what you think?
I believe that's for real. If you don't know what you're doing or the industry you in, you're going to be a little fish in a huge pond, and these sharks out here is coming for you. So you're going to really just look stupid, you're going to feel stupid, and it's going to be very discouraging If you don't put yourself in a position to learn from somebody that already knows what they're doing, or you don't, study at all, you're really just going to be, like I said, out there stranded with no help. And we all know that feels terrible. Anytime we've all, had a flat tire somewhere, that stranded feeling is just like, what's going to happen? You're going to feel stressed, and that stress will put you in more of a headspace that's not going to help you be productive in what you're doing.
Yeah, let me just say this. A lot of people want to get rich in money before they get rich in understanding and knowledge. And the problem that a lot of people like that they deal with is that if you get rich with money without rich with understanding and knowledge, that's no different than you winning the lottery. Mm-hmm. And what happens to people that win the lottery?
Go broke.
They go broke because they lack the financial understandings. Y'all, I do this, and it is a flex, but I do this to give y'all some understanding. There's a reason why I wrote the books in the manner, in the time frame or the order that we wrote them. We Are Sick, Surviving Financial Cancer. This was your blueprint to helping you get out of debt and let you know that your financial decisions that you're making are killing any of your growth opportunities. Then we wrote this book. After you understand and master yourself in the finances, now you can practice insulating yourself with extra surplus cash so that you can be able to protect yourself. Everyone always talks about investing before they talk about insulation. I never met anyone that wanted to build a full house without insulating it and then securing the foundation first. So we want to make sure that we build a system, this ecosystem based off the discipline that we have in this book that will be able to ensure that we're never in that situation again. Then we came with the corporation trust in order to organize your wealth cycle and to insulate your wealth and the money that you're making. And then we started talking about now investing out and venturing your capital and diversifying your capital within your business, outside of your business, within your company, outside of your company, within your job, outside of your job, whether it's the public markets or buying companies or investing in certain types of people privately. And then we had a couple of other books, and then this book right here is to teach you how to buy and sell companies as an investment thesis. See, this is the biggest thing that you have to understand. Everyone wants to get here, but they don't want to start here.
Period.
Everyone wants to get here, but we don't want to start here. And we understand the importance of starting here. This book, literally, the title is We Are Sick. Because a lot of us want financial freedom, but we keep putting ourselves in financial slavery. We enslave our future so that we can have it today. So we get a little bit of our future, and then we enslave our future, the abundance that we're supposed to have, just because we want a fragmented piece of it today. And when we begin to understand that, we will begin to understand, like, listen, hey, let me get really clear on my ability to do the thing. Because, for an example, a lot of people want to do what Iggy and Nick do. And a lot of people actually have services that do it. Oh, you make money doing posts in social media? Okay, I'm gonna start a company too, and I'm gonna do social and post and social media. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's cool. But guess what? You can manage the social media, but you won't keep the clients because you don't know what it takes to actually produce the result.
Right.
Versus go to Nick. Versus when you see Nick was a part of building $3 or $4 million companies from scratch, leveraging social media, not including all the many six-figure businesses that she was able to build. And then you got Iggy, bless you.
Thank you.
You got Iggy that was responsible for 6, 7, and 8-figure campaigns with privately held businesses. Come back to me. And so when you understand these things, now you can see that I can put Nick and Iggy in Mogul in an empty city. And what I mean by empty, I don't mean empty in opportunity. I mean empty of people that they know. And I can promise you within a year or two, they'll be back on their feet, stabilized, producing, and getting clients results because they know what they are doing. Mm-hmm. And the wealth is not in the result of the money. The wealth is in the result of the knowledge. The result of the knowledge produces relationships, opportunities, doors open. The result of the money, there's nothing after that. So a lot of us look for funding. We look for financing. We look for investors. When you haven't sat time sitting under someone, I talk about this all the time. Everyone is in such a rush to get rich that we stay broke mentally.
Facts.
And this is the biggest thing we gotta understand. Number 3, unclear goals and objectives is another sign that you're not ready for business. What's the point? Why are you in the game? What is the result?
Yeah.
What are you trying to get to? You say, man, I want to make $1 million, but I want a $1.4 million house. Well, that means you $0.4, you $400,000 in debt already.
Yeah. Before you
And I want a Rolls Royce. Well, that's $300,000, $400,000 depending on what year you get. But don't forget the insurance and the maintenance. He said, listen, I just want to make $1 million one time. I'll be set for the rest of my life. I want to get a big land. I want 10 acres and a nice size house. Well, have you looked up the taxes on that? Because the price of getting something is not the cost of keeping it.
Let's go.
See, a lot of us can pay the price up front. Like, oh, this guy wants this, so I'm going to become this so that he can see that I'm perfect for him. But the cost of keeping him is a lot more than you thought the price was.
Yeah.
Or this girl I really like, I'm going to maneuver myself to get her. And then after I get her, we realize, wait a minute, she high maintenance. Like, I can pay the price one time. Wait, I got to do this every day. I got to buy you Louboutin, and I gotta buy you the nice just to keep you.
Jeez.
Oh yeah, I want to run the business. It makes sense. Like, I'm willing to sacrifice my time now to run $1 million business. But the cost is you the last to get paid though. See, the price is sacrifice. The cost is also sacrifice.
Yep.
What happens when you realize that the back end sacrifice is larger than the front end sacrifice? Are you willing to pay the cost as well as the price? And so many people, because we're so unclear on our goals and objectives, you don't realize that your price that you're paying is not the cost of keeping up what you paid for. Oh, you say, yeah. But now guess what? Now you built up an image where people, you told everybody you're a winner. So when they see you, you're supposed to be what? Winning. So the cost of keeping up a winning business is what? What's that cost? Yeah, you paid the price one time to lose all the weight. But the real work is keeping the weight off. And this is what we all got to understand when it comes to being successful at anything. Am I willing to keep up with the maintenance cost? Because the price is one time. You pay up front one time. But the cost is a continual process. Yeah, you want to run $1 million business, but you forgot every year that you run that $1 million business, you got to pay $1 million business taxes. In payroll. And expenses. And you got to take L's and make sure everyone else is good. And be the last to take the L. And then everybody else like, hey, I just want to make sure. They reach out, hey, man, I just want to make sure you good. I just want to look out for you. I love you. And I know you love me. But this costs a little high right now. The maintenance. I love my Rolls Royce until my little hubcap spinning thing, just the R, cost me damn near $1,000. Then I say, wait a minute, hold on. If this costs me $1,000, God forbid if I need real maintenance. So having clear goals and objectives helps you stay focused on not only the price but the cost. Which I got to say about price and cost and being unclear in goals and objectives.
Man, you have to be very, very clear, because if you're not clear, how are you going to get to the destination? You know, when you're envisioning things, you really have to, the vision has to be extremely clear. A lot of people, they start and they don't even know their why. So like the first thing you need to do is establish, why are you doing this in the first place and where are you going? And some people actually have a cap on their vision, right? Like they don't feel like they can go this far. Like, oh, I can probably get, you know, a new Mercedes, but that Rolls Royce, I don't know, that's a lot. Like to me, when you're dreaming about things, like you got to break that seal of visualizing where you're trying to go. If you're trying to do big things, like it's going to require so much more. But
That's
you
right.
have
That's
to
right.
be able to see yourself in that place.
That's right. That's right.
And you can have everything you desire, but a lot of the time, our negative beliefs about ourselves don't allow us to even think and pass that, oh, I can get the Rolls Royce. I just stop at Mercedes. You know what I mean? So I think when you're visualizing, like, break the surface, you know, break the seal. You got to go further, go higher, and know that it's accessible to you. And if you do the work behind your vision, because you can't be visualizing all the time and just thinking that it's just going to come out of nowhere. Like there has to be effort taking place. Hence why we got reached out to. There's some effort being put in, you know, so make sure you're visualizing, and, you know, you just don't sell yourself short when you're doing that.
I think dreamscaping and painting your vision and having that understanding about where you want to go it is important. Being able to see it, being able to think it, but also, like Nick said, also putting in that work and being able to actually do it is important. We know the price, right? Dr. Zach said we don't understand the cost, but even to take it further, we don't even understand the value of what that is. Mm-hmm. So we look at a price point, right, and not understanding the full cost, and then not understand what that cost association is to the value of what that actually does. So you got to be prepared, and you got to be able to see where you want to go, where you want to be, but you also have to understand the work that it takes to get there and maintain once you get there. And it's a lot harder to maintain it when you get there than it is to achieve it. There are a lot of people that do stuff. You heard of one-hit wonders. There's a lot more a lot less one-hit wonders than there is no-hit wonders. Mm-hmm. So there's people that can do it one time. Then a lot fewer of the people that can do it no time. So you got to understand where it is you want to go, and you have to understand that once you get where you're going, in order to stay once you get there, it takes a lot of work, and you have to understand that ahead of time. You have to be able to see that ahead of time and really make a decision, because entrepreneurship, buying businesses, acquiring businesses, right, developing large partnerships, getting big brand deals, it's not for everybody. So you got to be clear on if it's for you. And then when you make that decision that you decide and you determine it's for you, then you have to make the decision to get there and keep it. And it takes a lot of work to be able to maintain it. It's the ups, it's the downs, it's the lefts, it's the right. You're going to get punched in the face a few times. You're going to fall down. Being able to get back up is just part of the game. So that's my take.
As you're dreaming, don't just look at the $300,000 price. Look up the average cost of maintenance.
Yeah, because my oil change is $700.
As you're having intimacy with your significant others, don't just look at the price of taking care of the woman so that you take her on a date and make her feel good so that you can be intimate. Also look at the cost of what it takes if she gets pregnant. Then what? Think of the cost of the traumas and the craziness that you got to deal with on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Think of that. Think about when you're processing your success. Ask yourself, like, yeah, I'm willing to pay the price to get to the league, but what's the cost to stay in the league? Mm-hmm. I saw Earl Spence Jr., who's a Dallas boxer champion, and he said, I'm in a phase in my life where I know I can't shortcut the process anymore. He was talking to his wife. His wife has a show. I got a little dimple.
Everybody want a little dimple.
Bro, that mean it's a retarded face muscle.
Oh.
It's like getting just
Well, I got one too.
you got a retarded face muscle.
You too.
That's only because of communion. They said that it heals you. It's breaking it down. But Earl said, I've been cutting corners. And what I realized was in order for me to stay great, I have to build a team around me and pay people who are specialists at what they do. That's the cost of staying great. So my question is, are you willing to pay the cost as much as you were willing to pay the price? Number 4, you're not ready if you have limited time and resources. Running a business requires a significant investment of time and resources. If you're not willing or able to commit the necessary time and resources to manage the business successfully, it may not be the right time for you to buy or build. Running a business is grueling. You trade your 40 hours a week for what? 100, 120 hours a week? At any time, does anybody that's on this panel, do you ever not think about business?
Nope.
Unless I force myself not to.
I don't even know how to do that no more.
And when you force yourself not to, what? How do you do that?
I just have to like stop thinking, take time out for myself.
How
and
long
be-
that lasts?
How long that lasts? And how long it
Look,
take to get there?
When I do it, I really have to step out. But even then, when I step out, I'm still thinking about it. Like you could be on vacay and we're still thinking about
So
it.
my question is, when do you ever?
And
Never.
so,
Okay, there you go. Cause you
yeah. It was a long way
that's a
around.
long way around. That's a feminist answer.
Because I get
y'all-
like
hey,
10. I get however long my shower is. You know what I'm saying?
You
Okay,
feel me?
listen,
Like, I get those moments happen.
Hey, come back to me real quick. And y'all can't say nothing
When I'm
because
on the
we got
balcony.
probably one of the most diverse companies ever.
Listen,
Yeah.
I get that opportunity when I'm standing outside on the balcony looking and chilling.
Until I call.
No, that'd be a lot of times
Yep.
because we be
I'll be blowing y'all phone.
Yeah.
up.
we be letting out, so that'd be like a counseling session for us both.
Hey, now I ain't gonna lie, I be venting.
When I sleep.
I told Nick, I told you what I say the other day. I said, Nick, I got something to tell you. And Nick was like, bro, when? Not right now. I got to tell you in person. Like, bro, like, Shanda, when do you ever stop thinking about business? You don't? She don't. She be like, y'all, if y'all go to Chandelin's IG, I was about to say, cause I was about to call you Cap. Cause she be like, just think away and process yourself and run to the moon, down to the earth. Think about the rainbows and butterflies. Build within self and divine nature. Yeah, so she over here talking about never.
I seen Shannon
She know how
on
to-
TikTok
yeah.
meditating outside.
So she's saying at the end of the day, she's meditating for business, so it really doesn't count. So you need to tell your followers that because they under the impression that there's an exit.
If you force yourself, you should be taking time to think to not think about business, and it's a balance.
But even with that, also on the contrary, I do find like happiness in business. So
yeah.
like, it's not necessarily something that I always want to get away from.
Right.
Sometimes that is my solace. Sometimes when everything is going crazy, that is the opportunity that I have of knowing that there's some consistency here. So in that perspective, like if you're not willing to commit to the ups and downs, if you don't see yourself willing to commit to something bigger than yourself, if you don't see yourself having a why that you can attach to that allows other people to attach to, then it may not be for you to be able to step out. Because we talk about it and we've talked about it and joked about it, how we can't stop thinking about it. We don't. And I'm not saying that that's necessarily the most healthy thing, right? But what I am saying is that naturally is a part of each one of us. Like even when you try to quit, Nick, even when you were like, you know what, maybe this ain't it, it's still something that you be like, okay, but I still like doing this aspect, or Doc, when we talk about certain things and we be like, shit just all over the place, but it's still some consistency here and some passion for that. So there has to be a certain part of you that is for the dream, that is for the why, that is connected to that. And if you aren't, at least have a little bit that in the beginning that you're able to build and develop and grow, I'm gonna have to challenge that it's for you in that perspective as well.
I agree.
My last reason why is a sign that people are not ready for entrepreneurship is you can't control your personal circumstances. You have to be able to have the ability to compartmentalize. I got people that I really love in my life that I don't give a dag rat how mad they are at me. If I'm in the middle of trying to solve an issue for the overall good of everyone, I don't care that you mad, I didn't call you, text you, talk to you, or I missed the meeting that we were supposed to be on. I don't care that my mom and my daddy and my cousin are mad at me because I missed a birthday or a family reunion or their biggest run of their life. You have to be able to put a hatchet. It's like you got to cut off all those issues. And for me, my people know I keep my phone on do not disturb. So there's certain periods when certain people can call me, and there are certain people that can call me any period. And those people understand what I mean when I say listen. This ain't the time. And if you cannot control the major things that are going on in your life, I remember 2021 when we lost 3.5 mil. I lost my best friend, my best friend, and all my best friends know Connie was apex. I lost her due to COVID and a tumor. I didn't have a chance to cry because I was compartmentalizing what was going on with the company. Then I lost my grandfather. I haven't dealt with death in my life. And then later the year before, towards the end of the year, 2020, I lost my granny. So I lost my granny, Connie, and my pawpaw within a year period. 3 of the most important people in my life. And if you don't have the ability to compartmentalize your personal issues to help the company move forward, you're not ready. Because when you run a business and you're looking to put yourself in a position, your own personal, you can't pay your bills, your rent due, that ain't got nothing to do with you being creative and coming through for your team. You ain't got no money in your account. They ain't got nothing to do with you doing your job to make sure that your team know that, hey, listen, you're going to show up for them. If you cannot compartmentalize, I want to ask y'all a question. And I want y'all to be intimate if y'all like. And you can screen the information if you want. But I would like to hear from all of you all. When did you have to numb your personal issues in order to service your client or stay focused in your company because you understood that a personal circumstance didn't come before you making sure that your business was handled? And if it was, what was the time? I'll let Iggy go first so you can think. It ain't got to be nobody dying. It can be like, yeah.
You
it
like,
can be early in.
You're saying like when was the time that I had to do the
Yeah, because I'm talking about personal circumstance. A lot of people let their personal circumstances be the reason why they make an excuse, Iggy, on why they can't execute.
Right. So, but the clarity I need is when we talk about, like, you talking about a specific instance or like at what point when I know myself, like just in general.
Both.
In I had that numbing expectation kind of from the beginning, but a big thing was that was when my youngest daughter Demi was born. She was born, her mother 6 months pregnant. She was born premature. She was born 4 pounds, 16 ounces. She fit in the palm of my hand when she was born, and having the opportunity, being blessed to be there every single day with her because of the nature of the work in my business, but also still having to be there and produce and going through the stress of the first full month of my daughter's life, like she couldn't come home, so she was still at the hospital. So having to get to a point where I was leaving the hospital every day and feeling a certain way, and still having to produce, still having to be there for my oldest daughter, still having to be there for her mother, still having to be there for my parents and produce and be that leader, being that person that people were leaning on, right? And a second instance was just last year when I lost my cousin. I lost my cousin to was what was ruled a suicide by gunshot wound to the chest. And dealing with that was like a brother to me. He was just a couple months younger than me. I was born in December. He was born the following year in February. And I actually just made a year of his death last month, April 24th. And so dealing with that personally, going back home and still having to make sure that I showed up for the people that were depending on me when it came to business. Right, it was a time period I really had to like numb out how it is that I felt. I didn't hold it in as long as you did, but I didn't get the opportunity to cry until a couple months later when I just was by myself and just really broke down. And it was hard for me to do certain things. It was hard for me to hear certain songs or look at certain things on social media, remembering certain aspects, but still having to show up, still having to produce, still having to find and dig deep to be creative, to come up with things. But the one thing that I'm appreciative of is having the ability to be able to compartmentalize, because without having that ability to compartmentalize and be able to, okay, I have to deal with this, and I have to look this head on, and I have to internalize this and understand how it feels at this moment in time, because this is bigger than me. I can't shut down, and I can't not deal with what it is I truly believe in, and what my purpose is, when my cause, because I feel a certain way. And some people might look at that and be like, that's unhealthy, or mental health and mental illness and all that aspect. But when we look at the reality of situations, when we look at the reality of what has to be done, those are two specific times where I know that I really had to put my feelings on a back burner and be numb to a certain degree in order to continue to move forward for not only myself, my purpose, but what all was depending on me to continue to move forward and produce.
I don't know if you wanted to be extremely transparent about Pops just recently. Are you okay? But just recently he dealt with some stuff where he had to put his duty for the company above his need to be there for his father that was dealing with something extremely hard. And I know a lot of people go to entrepreneurship for solace. Like, I just want to ensure that I can be there for my family anytime that they need me. And if you want that, you probably want to stay on a 9-to-5. Mm-hmm. Because you have a better chance of getting PTO than you do running a business. And all of my executives that are with me are my partners. And so we all hurt together. When the company down, everybody down. Mm-hmm. When the company up, everybody eat. And so if we're dealing with liquidity issues with the company, everyone's dealing with liquidity issues. If we're dealing with overflow, shit, we all on the jet. So when you have that company, that balance, but then outside of the executives, you have your staff who have to be paid every time. And so I think that's important for people to kind of understand. What about you, Nick? Do you have anything? Or?
Man, I was thinking, like, I'm glad I went last because the hardest thing I had to deal with was my mom passing, you know. And when my mom passed, it's crazy. I was in Hawaii at a conference getting educated for entrepreneurship. You know, I was at it was like a 7-day retreat. We're in Maui. I know that my mom is sick. I know that my mom is on her deathbed, you know. And at that time I was like, man, God, like, should I cancel this trip? Like, should I not go and learn these things? What do you do when you're in that situation?
Like,
You know what I mean?
What do you do?
And I had long talks with God. You know, that's all I could do is that if it was time for me to go home, I would. You know what I mean? So I ended up going to the retreat, and I stayed there, and I was getting educated, and of course my mom was here and there, and I'm just like, dang, like, should I be at home? But during this time, my mom is bedridden. She cannot talk. It's an induced coma. You know, like, it's bad. And so I'm like, I'm going to go, you know, and I just had to put my feelings aside to get this education that I really needed, the education that has made me who I am today and has just helped me push through things that I had went through in my past. Like, I really needed to be there in Hawaii at that time. And then I got the phone call that said, hey, your mom probably has about 24 hours. You should fly in. And so I left the retreat early. I got there. And my mom was still alive when I got there. I got to ask my mom if she's tired of fighting. My mom told me yes. You know what I'm saying? And that is just the craziest thing that you could hear from your mom who's ready to die at this point.
And so,
you know,
like, I got a question, and I'm asking you because, like, I deal with it personally. Like, in that time, making that decision, like, what is it that you do to deal with, like, not feeling like you less than for making a decision to go, even though everybody is like, yo, like, you need to be here, and you, of course, having those conversations with God, and you made the decision, and it's been a number of times I made that same decision, maybe not the same circumstances, but same situation where having to make a decision where everybody wants me to be in a certain space, but I know that I need to be in another space in order to continue moving forward for the bigger goal. Like, what was it that you did to deal with that things, no hindsight after that? Because, you know, I'm sure that there were still some people that didn't feel like you made the best decision or the right decision. You put some stuff before your mom's health, before your mom's life. So kind of how did you kind of move and deal with that aspect?
You know, the main thing that I kept telling and reminding myself is, what would my mom want me to do? You know, and because it was between me and her at this point, you know, not anyone else, not the naysayers, not family members, because when somebody's dying, that just throws your whole family through everything, you know, so you get to see a lot of true colors anyways. But I just kept thinking, like, would my mom want me to stop? You know what I mean? Would my mom be happy if I said, you know what, I'm going to break down for a year and not do shit? Which I kind of did, you know, even though she didn't want me to do that. But at that moment when she was going through it, I was like, I know my mom would not want me to be crying. Like I got a list for myself for my funeral, like what I want y'all to not be doing.
Yes,
or you can get kicked out.
Too.
You know
me
what
too.
I'm saying?
Me too.
So I'm like,
me too.
like, life is just this thing
I
where
want them to be like,
y'all calm that down.
why you leave? Ooh, I'm gonna do
I
it.
want them to be like the hold on. I want them to be like the hold. You slide come like this. Y'all put the camera to me. I want
That's
the slide to
ugly.
be like. I want people calling on the ground.
We're gonna do that in front row.
Nah.
No, but really, I just kept reminding myself, like, how would my mom want me to handle this situation for real, for real? And if my mom was alive and healthy, what would I be doing? You know, like, because life doesn't stop when somebody passes.
Yes.
It's a life cycle. Like,
Yes.
Like, we're literally born to die. You know what I mean? Like,
No,
we're here
the day
to.
you born, you start dying.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Damn.
you have to keep going. You
Facts.
have to.
It's a little heavy fact there.
You know,
It
it
is what it
is.
is.
But you have to keep going, and that's all I could tell myself is that, like, I'm still here on Earth. You know what I mean? I don't know what's next after this. No one does. If we knew, we'd be doing things a little bit different. You know, if we all had the answers. But I know for a fact that my mom would be devastated to see me hurt and upset over something that she couldn't control.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's what I just remind myself. I'm going through it right now. My dad has cancer, and I have to go see him 6 hours away. I'm the only child. You know what I mean? So if something happens to me, how can I help my dad? You know what I mean? So I'm like, hey, you gotta keep going no matter what. So, but yeah, that's what I do.
It seems like shit happens to me all the time, but the New Year's Eve of 2019, well, I guess going into 2020, we found out my brother had passed, and it really crushed me, you know. But in that time, I had to. I'm pretty sure you noticed. Everybody noticed. I jumped straight into work. Like,
Yeah.
I surrounded myself with work because I didn't have the mental. I knew if I took the time to stop, everything would stop, and I don't know if I would have been able to get back to where I needed to be in that moment. All the progress I had made would have been gone, and I don't think honestly, I don't think I would have been able to recover from it. So I did what I knew how to do best, which was just jump in and go full head steam, like even giving 120 as much as I could. I had to numb the feeling. I had to, be strong for my little sister, be strong for my mother. That's her first child. Be strong for everybody around me. Because I also had a feeling of guilt, if I can be honest, because I didn't do my due diligence as a brother to reach out to him all the time, because he that's just who I don't really reach out to people, and literally a week prior to him passing, he said, let's talk on the phone more. I'm gonna call you, call me, stuff like that. And I was just waiting for him to make the first move when I could have done the same thing. Also feeling the guilt because I also was pronounced dead before, 2 hours in the car accident when I was 16. And I made it out. So I'm like, how did my brother not make it out? Because he was like one of my heroes other than my father. So it's in those times I understood, like I said, if I'm going to continue to be on this mission, if I'm going to continue to do the things that I said I would do, I have to allow this moment to be put on the back burner. Because if I don't, I won't get past it. I had to compartmentalize. I think that's a gift and a curse in a way. But in this situation, it was definitely a gift to be able to compartmentalize those feelings and those emotions until a later date.
Sorry, y'all, we was taking a picture. See, this is why I tell people, like, make sure you're emotionally well before you get into leadership or entrepreneurship, because your feelings are the last to be thought of when you're a leader or you're the face or the front runner of the company. Everyone else wants you to operate and act as if nothing is going on in your life. And you have to put that aside to make sure they get what they want and they need. And for those that are struggling with this piece in particular, I know this is going to sound cliche, counseling. But just don't go to any counselor. Date your counselors. You got to find someone who has similar traumas, going through similar issues. Not, oh, my cousin went through that. We're talking about you looking for a counselor that has your similar issue and problem. And what they did to overcome it with all those other things. Because that helps your dynamic of digesting this information or these traumas that you're pretty much putting to the side for the sake of leadership. So that's all I got for the business analysis of the day.
Well, that was a great business analysis of the day, and we are going to go right ahead into our next segment. We're going to do our smash or pass real quick. And today is business needs. Smash or pass on hiring a bookkeeper.
Oh, I'll say a pass. Go to pocketbookkeeper.com. We have technology that actually will be your accountant and your bookkeeper all in one if you're a solopreneur. If you have more than 15 employees, yeah, you probably need a bookkeeper, but still use pocketbookkeeper.com. That's what we use.
Period.
The end.
And we're going to stick with
Are you
Shattuck.
on pocketbookkeeper.com? No, you're not.
No, I've downloaded the app.
You're an imposter.
I'll show you.
You're an imposter, bro. Let me see. Y'all, she don't even have pocketbookkeeper.com. She doing a whole lot of searching. Let me click it.
It didn't let me.
It didn't let you? It didn't let you? It didn't. Y'all, it did. She didn't even go through any of the work. It's literally
Unbelievable.
brand new. Unbelievable.
That's my wrong phone.
Look.
This is my phone that it's on.
Oh, okay. Let's see that one. Cap. She didn't even sign up.
I know.
Because-
Golly, I'm going to get it. I got to quit
I'm
my...
not sure what he been on.
She's
with
the
this.
leader of the company. Don't even have our tech.
Not sure what.
Do you
he
have
been
it?
on.
Okay.
I didn't get no discount code, no nothing. No.
Oh, that's what she was waiting on. She said, "Hey, man, look at me.
You know,
Hey,
that discount code.
I don't get no discount."
I work for these people. God, ain't no employee benefits over here.
You should have said something.
You get your merch and that's it. Have a nice day. And here's your sticker.
Wait, did you get a merch?
Barely.
Did
Yeah, I
you
got
get
a jacket.
Okay.
I got a jacket. I got some basketball
Really?
shorts.
We got to create like new. I want new.
We need hoodies and sweatpants.
Well, I got a lot of those.
Some brown
but we don't
ones.
have new. We don't have new.
Yeah, we need that.
We got to get but swaggy though.
Yeah,
You know what I'm talking about?
yeah.
So you're in charge of that.
I'm here. I've arrived. Ooh.
Hey y'all, we got people that's on Shark Tank that find out about y'all. Let me tell y'all why this is amazing for me. I ain't never put no information in the Shark Tank people. So there's no way that we could have been on their radar unless we got on their radar.
Exactly. We in there.
Hey, so yeah,
They like us.
so the question was a bookkeeper. No. Use pocketbookkeeper.com. We can be your technology bookkeeper. Call it an AI bookkeeper in your pocket. But if you're over 15 employees, you may need that, and we will have an enterprise version coming soon where you can even pay your payroll through our app. Listen, we ain't playing no games.
Let's go.
So we're going to go into back end fail of the day. And this one's a little longer than usual, but it's very important, especially in today's day and age with AI being as intelligent as it is and people being stupid/intelligent enough to use it. In the fast-paced digital age that we are in, that we live in, it is not uncommon to receive a simple hi text or message from someone you don't know. While it may seem harmless, it could be a friendly gesture for a new acquaintance. It is important to exercise caution and practice due diligence before responding. Scammers are often lurking online, waiting for unsuspecting individuals to let their guards down. That simple hi text could be the beginning of a scam that could end up costing you millions of dollars. One common scam involves fraudsters posing as wealthy individuals looking for help to transfer large sums of money. They might promise a generous compensation or a commission in exchange for assistance, but In reality, the end goal is to get you to provide personal information to send money that will never be returned. It is important to remember that scammers are skilled at what they do and can be incredibly convincing. They may try to gain your trust and provide seemingly legitimate documentation or references, but it's important to always do your own research and verify the information. We go into this saying there was an AI, a scammer that used AI on a mother. It copied her daughter's voice and called her.
Dang.
It had the voice say, "Mom, help me," and the lady didn't she immediately thought, that's her daughter. She said, "I knew from the voice, the inflection, the way she said my name, that was my kid." And the scammer was saying, at first said, "Give us $1 million." She says, "I'm broke. I don't got no $1 million. I've never seen it in my life." So the scammer, of course, kept going down and further and further until he got a number that she said she would send. The mom never thought to, of course, go up to the daughter's room and see if the daughter was there. And, of course, she was, luckily. But understanding that these scammers are getting extremely capable with this AI, so make sure you are as well. Because if you aren't, you will be in a situation like this, sending money to Tom, Dick, and Harry across the seas, and you will never get that back.
I mean, I think that there's nothing else for us to say. Because I'm looking at enough.
No, Mogul, get up.
Yeah.
Get your butt up. Put it on me. Get your butt up.
Hey, bro. Yo, we looking at Mogul right now. And this is hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Redo the screen, put it on me. I'm going to try to show them the picture. Out of all the faces that this brother could have made.
Yeah.
He was in his zone reading.
Y'all, this is what we was looking at. Y'all, this is what we was looking at.
Mo, come on. You know what you do. Come on, fix this camera.
Fix the camera.
Just focus. Oh, yeah. Chad, yeah.
You got to put it close to his own face. There you go.
There you go.
Nah.
Oh my lord.
I got y'all. Hold on.
Everybody screenshot right now. Mojo said the paragraph got too long. He couldn't even blink.
He was like, all right, so it's important to remember the scammers are skilled at what they do.
Y'all can't make me laugh like that.
Hey, listen, let me tell y'all something. You and your family, y'all need code words. Listen, if I think Iggy being real weird, I'll just say something, or I'll just go quiet. Chad, no, I'll just cuss Chad. See, I go quiet on Iggy, cuss Chad out, and just completely just talk rude to Mogul. Then I'll go extremely sweet with Nick, and then we got this our old words that we know of each other, like back in the day. And if she doesn't say none of that, yeah. Chandelier, she's already unpredictable. So if they call me in any tonality that's extremely normal, I know it's not her. See, y'all got to do better. AI can't trick me. I don't even answer the phone to people that I don't know. So. If you get caught,
You got caught laughing.
If somebody try to make some hostage scenario, y'all know I go straight to voicemail, so y'all better tell them to text me. Because I ain't answering the phone. Oh my gosh.
All right, we're going to go into our last segment, which is what would you do? Today we're going to start off with Iggy. What is one way I can use AI to help me with my marketing my business?
Depending on what aspect of market you're talking about, but overall in general, AI can be used for a number of different things. One of the main things is help you understand your niche better, help you get your messaging down right. So if you're doing the research to understand your niche, understand their needs, understand their wants, you can use AI to be able to create messaging, to be able to create campaigns around that, to be able to actually infiltrate that market or deliver whatever your product or service is to that market. So to really help you get your messaging down to be able to communicate effectively with your market.
Okay. Next is Nick. What new trend do you predict will be hot or is currently hot this month that we should be following on TikTok?
There are so many new trends. I will say that if you do want to find new trends, download the Trend Talk app and you'll see all the latest and greatest trends and sounds that are trending right now. Also, another app that y'all need to have is CapCut. They have all the templates, and they will show you exactly what CapCut template is trending right now on TikTok. Just because things are forever changing, like there's not one to focus on. There's so many like that are going viral at once. It's like not what's hot. Like tomorrow there could be a brand new sound that came out because somebody made a video and that video went viral. Now we're using the sound out of that. So it's like these week to week things you cannot prepare for on TikTok. Right. You know, just it's forever changing. So just download those apps and you'll see what sounds are trending. All
right. And lastly, Dr. Jake, I want to get started into buying businesses, but I'm not capital heavy. What is one way I can I still might be able to get into getting these deals closed?
I think that you should be a deal maker. If you're not capital heavy, but you're really good at closing, I think a lot of people think that they're good at managing, but you can make a lot of money just brokering the deal. So if you find a business, you're able to do due diligence and you know people that could buy the company, they have the means to actually manage it. The best thing that you can do is actually capitalize yourself by selling businesses that already exist. And this is why I tell a lot of people all the time, there are levels to this game. And your start into business buying may not be the one that buys the company with the SBA and then manages and do all this other stuff, blah, blah, blah. Yours may be, hey, I'm going to connect this business to this person who I know is looking to buy it. When I do that, I can get 1 to 5% on the transaction. So if I were to do $1 million transaction times 5%, that's $50,000 every time you connect and do the due diligence on a business and sell it at $1 million. So if you think about that, you have more opportunity for you to be able to just make money on the transactions than you actually do in trying to run a business you know you have no experience nor any capital to do. So I would do that process first and then work your way into actually doing the deal and managing the deal, and it's all you. That's what I would do.
Awesome. So I want to tell everybody, thank you for watching. We are still going to be doing something special for you guys once we reach 10,000 subscribers. So if you like this video, if you learned anything, make sure you send it out to at least 10 people. Likes, share, and comment every time you're here. We do appreciate you guys for watching. This is the Private Banking Society, and we will be back next Tuesday.
Peace.
Let's buy some land and build a family, that's a grown-up flex. Let's see a black man winning and get so upset. This is generational, inspirational, integrative though. On the rise vertically, working like I ain't made it though. This is for my people, locker room speeches. Listen while I'm teaching, nails trying like a kiss. Stole it like I'm Jesus and brought it back like a re-up. Had to demonstrate the blessing for people who couldn't see it. Now we building assets before we splurge our cash. We was talking about the dream, dog, we heard y'all laugh. Now they talking about the team and I heard y'all last. I could never take the credit, I prefer all cash. Look, laughing at the crib cause I done turned into a bank. Probably turned into a mogul before I turned into a saint. Was just a man on his grind and I turned it into great. Turn my struggle into hustle and you know I'm getting paid. Let's go.